To address the issue of huge surplus of nurses in the state, government is looking at the possibility to help the surplus nurses for gainful employment outside the state by engaging with institutions and various agencies. Informing this, after reviewing Human Resource Status and Health Department, Ampareen Lyngdoh, Minister in charge Health and Family Welfare, also said that the state government is exploring the option of facilitating government doctors to take up short-term courses to address the shortage of specialist doctors as well. Meanwhile, Lyngdoh also stressed about the importance of HR management in the health department, while adding that the government has to now maneuver in streamlining the health department and its facilitators in the state.
There are certain areas of shortages of specialists, and the department has taken up certain important decisions to ensure that we run short-term courses for doctors to make them equipped and have sufficient exposure to training, so that they can also gradually fill all these gaps that are there in the placement of doctors in institutions. Then there is a huge surplus of nurses in the state of Meghalaya. There are more nurses as numbers of jobs that we can offer these nurses. So now we've also because of this engagement as an entire department, going from previous advertisements that were called. So we are now of this opinion that we need to now look for avenues for these nurses. Where do you direct these trained individuals? What do they do next with their lives? So government is going to be engaging with institutions, engaging with various agencies that can help us bring gainful employment to these nurses, because there are more nurses in the market than what government intake can do. So we feel that maybe we must ensure that nurses are compulsorily given an opportunity or made to learn languages, a language skill. We now need to look at this huge unemployment even in this one category alone. Yes, there is, as per the national norm, we do not have as many sanctioned posts in the state of Meghalaya. So 3,000 plus, I don't remember the exact numbers, we have about 1,500 plus. So we are going to be likely looking at a probable moving to ensure that the sanctioned numbers of such posts, at least as per national norms are already made available. Because every time you have to inaugurate a CHC or PHC that has already been built, then you suddenly come against this hard wall which says there is no sanctioned post. So we must have all of this put in mind, because as we move along in the next 5 years, there has been a huge focus kept on funding for improvement of health services post-COVID. Now we must make sure that once these infrastructures start seeing the light of day, they have the necessary manpower that is there. We're also engaging on an important venture where we need to create a dashboard of HR posted health employees in various categories. If there's a doctor, where are these doctors? If there's a nurse, where are these nurses? How long have they been in a certain place? Is it time to transfer them? Then we're also looking at a probable, possibility of, this is all just in the pipeline, but we are planning it meticulously, because we are looking at incentivizing health facilitators like doctors and nurses and lab technicians and all these various categories of workers that are there. How do we incentivize them to go and stay in a remote place? Because all of our problems related to health, when you talk about MMR, IMR, it's only because facilities don't reach the most difficult parts of the state of Meghalaya. So these are certain things which now come face to face, and reality is hitting us hard. We need to take some very important decisions, and we are consolidating all of these consultations. We've had consultations with doctors, with heads of districts, with the entire paradigm of health structure in the state of Meghalaya. Various meticulous discussions and dialoguings have been rolled out, and now we need to come to the stage where we have to bring this to a working stage. Planning is one thing. Talking about mental health and the importance of mental health, coming out with a policy on mental health is big. But how do you achieve that policy is what we need to start working on. We have to crack this. We have to work very hard. The national standard says 3,000 something, and we are at about 1,500 something. So it's like a 50% of sanctioned posts of staff nurse, whereas we need to increase those numbers because our health facilities are now increasing. We will have more CHCs, we'll have more PHCs. Now we're having more sub-centers. We're now even going to get into a system where we're going to have a village health center. So all of that will require us to, and in anticipation, create the availability of all of these sanctioned posts everywhere. Now doctors, we have already got into a very good practice where we've said that we cannot wait for a central recruiting agency, whereas we look at it as health being an important sector. Let us have an agency within the health system which anyways is qualified enough to interview and recruit these doctors.